Multiplying expressions, part 1. I know you're looking forward to the sequel, but let's just start with the basics. Multiplying, as you may remember, let me just go down here and talk about, I don't know, 5 times 4. So just plain old multiplication. You remember from your times tables, I hope. That equals 20. But what does 5 times 4 actually mean? Well, it means we're going to take 5 and we're going to add it 4 times. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. That's what times means. Well, the same thing is true with an algebraic expression. So we'll take this very basic one, 4c times 3. That simply means 4c plus 4c plus 4c. And you've already hopefully seen the video on adding and subtracting like terms. All of these have a c, so we can simply add them up. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. 12 what? Well, 12c, whatever c stands for. I'd already said earlier that we're going to stop using that x as a times symbol pretty much, but that was just to make it clear. But we might see something like 3 times 4c just written like this, maybe a 3 in parentheses 4c. Without anything in between here, it means multiply. Now, why am I doing parentheses? Well, the only reason I really need them here is if I don't have them and I try to squish these two things together, it'll look like 34c. It won't be clear. Here are a couple of other situations that you're not going to encounter just yet in the exercises you are on for the Martha O'Brien High Set math course, but they will show up in the near future, and it's also just an explanation of some things that you need to be aware of. So, first of all, we have this. This is our way of writing 5x times 4y. All right? Well, here's the thing. Both of these have variables, and they're not the same variable. So this does not mean that I'm going to take 5x and add it 4 times, because it's 4y. So that's not what we're doing. So what are we doing? Well, we're going to multiply the things together that we can, and we're going to leave the things that we can't multiply together as variables. So here's what I mean. There's a property of multiplication. You know the commutative property, where 4 times 5 is the same thing as 5 times 4. We've mentioned that. So I'm just going to rewrite this like, I'm going to use a dot for the times sign. Well, I'm trying to make a dot. It doesn't want a dot for me. And so, because of the commutative property, we can really keep swapping these numbers around until they're in an order that we would like them to be in. And what order would I like them to be in? Well, I would like them to be in the order where the numbers are multiplied times the numbers, and the variables are multiplied times the variables. I moved everything up just a little bit to get it out of the way. So 5 times 4 is 20. Now, I don't know what x is, I don't know what y is, so I just keep both. All I did was rearrange a little bit, multiply the things together that I could, 5 times 4, and then just keep x and y as x times y. This means 20 times x times y, and there we have it. All right. 5x times 4x. One last situation we're going to look at. This is as complicated as we're going to get in this video. Really, it doesn't matter how complex these things get. It's the same properties, just I have to be a little bit more careful keeping track of things. This is 5x times 4x. We could rewrite this. Of course, when you're really doing a lot of algebra, you're not going to rewrite this. You're going to go straight to basically the next step. But we can rewrite it this way. I've got x times x. I've got 5 times 4. It's just a different order. Well, 5 times 4 is just 20 times x times x. Now, the one way this is different from the x times y example that we had just a second ago, let me move this up just a little bit, is that we can rewrite x times x. And typically you're going to want to, when you're multiplying the same variable a number of times, you're going to write it as x, and then you're going to put an exponent. Remember, that exponent just means how many times you're multiplying that variable times itself. In this case, twice, so we say x to the second power, or x squared. So 5x times 4x is the same as 20x squared.